happy again. Needed that little time. So in this mini segment, it is Top 10. And it's pretty self-explanatory. We create our top 10 list on a given subject related to the episode's theme. And today's subject is Top 10 of 2021.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
I got a lot of honorable mentions. Invincible, What If, Loki, and WandaVision, Encanto, Luca, In the Heights, Shang-Chi, Godzilla vs. Kong, Dune. What about you, Jamie? Any honorable mentions?
I only have 2. Luca, and then just like that.
Let's get into our top 10.
Okay, so my number 5 is a mini series from Hulu called 9 Perfect Strangers. It's based on a book, the New York Times best-selling book by Leanne Mortimer, by someone. It stars Nicole Kidman, it has Melissa McCarthy, Bobby Cannavale, Luke Evans, Michael Shannon, like amazing cast, an amazing story. I believe it's only 8 episodes. It takes place at a boutique health and wellness resort that like promises to transform you and heal you and stuff, and just the things that happen, the story that unfolds there is insane. I thought it was amazing.
Katie and I started it and we got like 4 episodes in and then we just never picked it back up. We were kind of curious, but apparently not enough to finish. It was good though. We did enjoy it, what we did watch. All right. Yeah. My number 5 is kind of a cheat, but it's technically, I think it counts, is Zack Snyder's Justice League. This is the 4-hour cut of the Justice League film that was released in 2017. But it is such a different film that I believe it's its own film. Y'all, it's the Justice League film that we deserve. It is just such a giant, awesome blockbuster where you see all these cool superheroes actually doing stuff and like everything makes some sense. And you kind of have to be a super nerd to enjoy it because like I said, it's 4 hours long. It is not a relaxed viewing. It is amazing. There's so much action. It's really good.
So my number 4 is another miniseries. I'm picking a miniseries, y'all. 3 out of the 5 are miniseries.
Jesus.
It's made from Netflix. It's a 10-episode miniseries about a single mother who turns to house cleaning to make ends meet after she leaves an abusive relationship. It stars Margaret Qualley, Andie MacDowell, Nick Robertson, Billy Burke. Like, it received so many great ratings and great reviews and stuff. Insane movie. Very heavy shit in that miniseries, but beautiful.
Alrighty. My number 4 is a movie that Katie and I just watched the other night, but it did come out last year, and that was Netflix's The Mitchells versus the Machines. Have you seen it?
Never heard of it.
Oh, it's so good. Obviously, it's number 4. It's an animated film about this family that goes on a road trip, and in the middle of it, the robot apocalypse happens, and they have to fight their way out, and they're the only ones left to save the day. And it stars Abby from Broad City, Danny McBride, Maya Rudolph, a whole great cast. And it's just one of those like really high energy animated films that's just hilarious the entire time and has amazing action. It's directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, the guys who did the Lego Movie and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It kind of has that same vibe going into it. It's just such a really good movie. And it's a sweet family film at the heart of it too. It'll tear you up at the end, when you start thinking about your family. So yeah.
Aww.
The Mitchells versus the Machines. It's on Netflix now. Go check it out.
So my number 3 is also a Netflix movie. It's Fatherhood, starring Kevin Hart. And it's about a father who brings up his daughter as a single dad after the unexpected death of his wife, who died a day after having the baby. And it's such a heavy film. And you go into it maybe knowing it's heavy, but you're expecting more comedy because it is Kevin Hart. But he does such a phenomenal job just acting and showing emotion and struggle and change in this movie that I want everyone to watch this movie so they don't pigeonhole Kevin Hart.
All right.
I cried in it. I laughed in it. I've got mad in it. I think it was done really well.
All right. I'll have to check it out. I don't think I have seen Kevin Hart in any dramatic roles. Nice. My number 3 is not as dramatic. It is Vacation Friends from Hulu. If you haven't seen this movie, watch it now because it is hilarious. It stars Little Ray Howery, who was the other FBI agent who gave Bill O'Neill the drugs at the end of Judas and the Black Messiah. So it stars him, John Cena, Meredith Hanger, and Yvonne Orji. That can't be her name. Orgy. Oh, it's Orji. Orgy. I'll say Orjai. Orjai. I'll say Orjai. Yeah, Yvonne Orjai. Or it is Orgy. Who knows? Either way, it's a hilarious movie about this couple that goes like on a vacation, and then they meet John Cena and his wife, and like they have a really good time on vacation, but then the vacation friends come back with them, and let's just say hijinks ensue, and it gets so crazy, and it's so much fun. And then it gets sweet at the end a little bit, and you're like, oh, it's just an all around good film to watch.
Cute. I've seen it on Hulu, and I've been wanting to watch it. I just don't click on it.
Oh, it just anytime you want, like just to feel good and laugh.
So my number 2 is another miniseries. Shocker. It's The Pursuit of Love. It only has 3 episodes, but it stars Lily James, Andrew Scott, and Emily Beecham. Even Dominic West is in there. But it's just, as you all know, I love period pieces, especially English period pieces. So it's set in World War II time, like just before and then during World War II. And it's about Linda, who is trying to find the perfect lover, then her cousin Fanny, who is dealing with the same struggle of taking care of her cousin. I know, the cousin's name is Fanny.
I'm such a child. I'm such a child.
But it's only 3 episodes. It's funny. It's creative. Like, it's colorful. Lily James's character is the one looking for love. I just think it's such a good story. And I watched it one night, and then my mother-in-law came home when I was still living with her. And then I watched it again with her.
Oh, geez.
Like this very next night. I loved it so much. So that was my number 2.
Very ringing endorsement.
Anything Lily James is in, I love. Lily James is like an all-star for me. What is your number 2?
My number 2 is an amazing blockbuster that I saw in theaters, and it just felt like it was bringing back together my childhood along with my adulthood, and it was Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm going to get into full spoilers in my little description here. It is such a good film. Having like all 3 on-screen Spider-Mans to reunite was just simply amazing. To see all the villains from the past movies was awesome. Willem Dafoe reprising his role as the Green Goblin. He hasn't missed a step. It was so great. The twists and turns in it are will have you crying. There's so many good jokes. You'll be laughing. The action is amazing. If you are a Spider-Man fan in any regard, you'll love this film. It's a great film. There's a couple plot holes to it when you start to think about it, but it's one of those movies where you're not supposed to really think about it too much. You're just supposed to sit back, shove some popcorn in your face, and enjoy what is happening in front of you. If you haven't seen it yet, get your ass out to a movie theater, make sure to wear your mask, and watch Spider-Man No Way Home.
I like how so many movies that we have reviewed, you're like, plot holes, unacceptable. And this one, you're like, fuck the plot holes, grab some popcorn, enjoy the movie.
There's a scale. If there's enough enjoyment in it, you can forget about some plot holes.
Okay, so on to number 1, both of our number 1s. Mine is a TV show that
Surprise.
The first season, I know, shocker. It's the first season that came out last year. It's The Sex Lives of College Girls, written by Mindy Kaling, who I love.
That was such a good show.
It is. So it's about 4 roommates who navigate their new freedom at Essex College, and it stars Pauline Chalamet, Renee Rapp, Amrit Keir, Gavin Leatherwood, Alea Chanel. Amazing cast, so diverse. It's so funny. This is prime Mindy Kaling.
Mm-hmm.
She has another show on Netflix that I love called Never Have I Ever, but that's set in high school and is PG-13. This one is just full on rated R, Mindy Kaling at her peak, at her prime, at her best. This is the best thing I think she's ever put out. It's so funny and enjoyable and such a quick watch too. The episodes aren't long. This was one of the first shows in a really long time that I had to wait weekly to see each episode.
Oh, yeah.
And I did it. I went back. I was ready on Fridays or whenever they came on to fucking sit down and watch this show.
Oh, same with Katie and I. This was one, the second it was released, we were watching it. It was such a good show. I cannot wait for season 2. It dealt with very real issues as well as just being absurdly absurd. Mm-hmm. And it somehow struck a really good balance in that regard. And yeah. On to my number 1, which is The Suicide Squad. Not that other crappy film called Suicide Squad. This is The Suicide Squad. Directed by James Gunn and starring a whole mess of people like Idris Elba, John Cena. John Cena's showing up twice on my list.
Or is he?
He is.
Showing up. Get it?
Oh, because you can't see. Oh, my God.
can't see it.
Okay, yep. Derailed me, my whole thing with that stupid joke. No, okay. Success. Like I said, huge cast. Such an improvement on the original. Like, this was what it should have been. It's a group of people who any character could die at any time. They prove that in the first scene. It's crazy. It's violent. It's gory. It's badass. It's colorful. It's musical. It like makes you question ethics. It's just a good all-around movie. And if you haven't seen it, it's on HBO Max right now. Go check it out.
That was our top 10 of 2021. 1 through 5 for each of us. We had our honorable mentions. Let us know your favorite things that came out in 2021, if it was something that we mentioned here or if it was something completely different.